Pasha Paro, thank you for tuning. Quality. All right, so what we rocking out with today is the question: Is your job a false claim? Is your job a false claim? And some interesting things come to mind when you ask that. So I promise you're going to look at a job differently if you haven't already. We're going to show you the proof of how similar a job is to what you think of when you think about a false accusation or a false claim. And hopefully you'll find your path to a healing and a better life. And I'm glad that this video is a part of your journey. So, an interesting thing to start with is that career changes are common. How common are they? It's actually quite interesting. Right? Career changes are common. So common, according to the research, most people will change careers at least once in their life, right? That's a given. But the average person will change careers 5 to 7 times. And amazingly, 30% of the workforce changes jobs every year. 30% of the workforce right now hasn't had their job for more than a year. And it's not to say it's the same 30% every year, but just imagine if it was. Can you imagine 15 years, 15 different jobs? The mental anguish, the fatigue, the tired. By the time you get trained, you're ready to go. You're ready to go do something else. You're looking for the exit. You're in the exit lane full time. How does that work? How does that feel? So both a job and a false claim or accusation can be the source of stress and anxiety, right? Deception. They're both forms of deception. Think about it. You went into the interview, they gave you all these promises. Yeah, there's going to be room for advancement and, the pay is great. And, oh, man, you're going to really enjoy the team that we have here. Amazing environment. 30% of the workforce changes jobs every year. On average, people change careers 5 to 7 times in life. So, was it true? Was it true? With the job requiring one to present a better version of themselves, and the latter, right, just the straight false claim, the false accusation being deliberate misrepresentation of the truth, are they not the same? I ask you. And speaking of questions, before we get too far, let's get the question of the day in. Have you ever felt stressed or betrayed by unmet promises in your job? How did it affect your trust in your employer, and what steps did you take to address it? Have you ever felt stressed or betrayed by unmet promises in your job? How did it affect your trust in your employer, and what steps did it take to address? Any of those questions, rock out in the comments below. Let's share. Let's allow people to realize you are not alone. See, that's the power of you guys answering these questions. You get to realize that you're not alone. Someone watching this realizes they're not alone. They're going to be like, hey, I felt the same way. And once we see that more of us want the same thing, then we'll see the value of working together to arrive at the destination. You see what I'm saying? Right? So let's get back to it. So both the job and a false claim, false accusation can be a means of gaining something. Whoa. You're trying to get ahead, right? You trying to get that bag. You trying to be liked. Right? Is that how it works? Sometimes. So it could be money, it could be power, or even just the sense of accomplishment. People naturally would destroy or attempt to destroy you for money and power. That's no secret. You're used to that in life, right? You've seen enough of that in the movies, in the talk shows, and TV, at your workplace, at church. But just even for the sense of accomplishment, just for the sport of it, right? It's going down. So be careful of that. Let me know. It also could be, right, the job and the false claim, right, could simply be a way to avoid something, right? To get themselves out of a predicament. Think about it. People get a job because they're trying to get out of certain situations. They want to, in their mind, better themselves. They're trying to get out of this box that they're in. They need these funds. They need this opportunity, whatever. So they're looking for what they call it, a breakthrough. So the job and the false claim, to show you how similar they are, how they parallel each other, can both be a way to avoid something unpleasant. It could be boredom. It could be poverty. It could even be punishment. So they're using false claims just like they use jobs. They're using jobs just like they use false claims. The job, for apparently a lot of people, is a false claim. Because that's why most people will change careers at least once. The average person changes careers 5 to 7 times. And 30% of the workforce changes jobs every single year. See, when they gave you those promises during the interview and didn't support them, like a false claim, a false accusation is a claim or allegation that is untrue or unsupported by facts. So when you got all that detail about how much you were gonna like the job, and you got there, you realize it was like every other job after 6 months. Well, is it just a metaphor, or is it a simile? Right? Did you think that they could both be, the job and the false claim could be the source of conflict? Could they both be the source of conflict? Leading to disagreements between coworkers, gossip, hate, toxic workplace, right? So, or just the fact of it being a false claim to begin with often goes to what? Legal battles, right? Now you're at court. You know, I know. A lot of you know too. What about a form of art? Can you both be an art? Like artisan. You got to create skills and talents to get a job. You got to be skilled and crafty to manipulate and deception. They both require a level of artistry. Right? They're both ways to build a reputation, with the job allowing for people to build it supposedly in a positive way through hard work, while just straight out lying can build a reputation in a negative way if discovered that one is lying, practicing deceit, false claiming, fake resumes. But that could build a negative reputation. But if it's not, those rumors and stuff could be used to destroy your reputation, or at least attempt to destroy your reputation. But the truth is, I think that's a good thing. When your reputation gets destroyed with people who never validated if it was true or not, I think that's great, because those aren't the people you want fucking with you anyway, because stand for nothing, fall for everything. They're all going to be liabilities in your camp. Let them get separated. Let that work be done. The Most High is putting in work for you by doing that. He's clearing the way. He's clearing a path for you. And let the people choose their sides. And then in between, you have the path to walk. Your ideas, your brand has the path of honor for you. So that's positive work for you, even though it appears negative. Remember that. Everybody works for us as long as they do them. We just got to find out what they do, what they enjoy to do, what's their natural go-to. And then feed it to them. So they're both self-expression, right? They're both ways to ID yourself, to give yourself credit of some sort, self-expression, to speak one's values, express your skills and talents at the job. And false accusations are expressing one's beliefs and desires. They're both a way to connect with others. You can build relationships with coworkers, business partners, locally, domestic, internationally. False accusations actually allow you to connect with others who share the same beliefs. So that proves that there are both ways to make a difference in the world, to make an impact. But at what cost? Allowing you to contribute to society through your work or lives, allowing you to influence the world through both, through either. So I ask you, is a job a false claim? If the success that we see in reality is that 30% of the workforce changes jobs every year. Everybody can't be that just, oh, I got it wrong. Most people changing careers 5 to 7 times in life. Most people don't not understand what do you do here? Well, we do. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love the team environment, and did it 5 to 7 times. Most people felt fooled, realized later on something wasn't right. It wasn't what they said it would be. So how do you get around this? Right? Navigating career changes and advancement. It's the digital age. As you can see, wherever you're at, we're building right now through a portal in time and space. Why are we still adhering to the technology of the 1940s and 50s with an application process, allowing someone to judge you who don't know you, to guess and assume if you're going to be the good fit out of 100 people that they interviewing, that they really didn't have the time to get to know any of them? Is the process not even just starting off as a false claim? To call it an interview, they ain't looking into you. Oh, we're checking your background and your credit score. That's not you. We're looking at what you wore to the interview today. We think that doesn't, it doesn't fit with our dress, what we're looking for here. Motherfuckers is walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. Yeah, but when you come to the interview, we want you to look a certain way. Man, fuck you. You might have been the best for the job, but that company will never benefit from you because they were worried about what jacket you had on. So the community that company supports now suffers because you would have brought innovation. You would have brought a culture to that company that would have caused the whole brand to increase in value by 47%. They'd have been twice as valuable, 3 times as valuable. They would have been able to do that much more work in the local community. That would have been your butterfly effect. And all of that erased in a Mandela effect because one fool was more concerned about your jacket and tie, or lack thereof, in a crushed economy, that they couldn't see your true value. The whole world is suffering, struggling to feed itself, and they worried about, do you have a tie on? The company's trying to hire because it's having problems, and they're worried about, is your jacket designer? Is your value to the few worth more than your value to the world? I ask you. Is your value to those 5 people in a company of 90,000 that's going to make a decision when they passing your resume around before they put your picture on a piece of plastic that electric signals allow you access to a building for you to come in and sell your time wholesale? Those 5 people have that much power in all of their ignorance. Or do you say, somewhere in the process of being the average person who changes careers 5 to 7 times, or if you're one of the 30% of the workforce that's changing jobs every single year, at what point do you say, let me hand my resume to myself? You done gave everybody else a chance. You was in fast food when you was young. You worked at the boys club. You went to banking. You went into industry. You went into manufacturing. You went into finance. You were selling cars. You gave every single body a chance. And none of them could keep it real enough to keep you real enough. I'll say it again. None of them could keep it real enough to keep you real enough. That's why most people change careers 5 to 7 times in their life. And 30% of the workforce is changing jobs every single year. Because they keep finding out a job is a false claim. And then they wake up one day and say, I'm tired of being what I'm not, just to be what I'm not. Because I can't be what I am in this system. But the mistake they make is they think that changing to a different, I'm going to say system, but replace what I'm really saying is another job. So by changing to another system, it's going to be that much better. Let me ask you a question. I think many of us have played at least one video game in our life. Now, if you don't like Duck Hunt on the Super NES, do you think you would like Duck Hunt better on a Sega Genesis? I know some of y'all, we ain't got too many young people here. Some of them may not know what a Super NES and a Sega Genesis is. But for those who do, if you didn't like Duck Hunt on the Super NES, do you think you would like all of a sudden Duck Hunt if they put it on Sega Genesis? Let's fast forward to today so it makes sense for the younger crowd. If you playing 2K on PS5 and you trash, Do you think you're gonna magically get better? Now, I'm not talking about, oh, the buttons. I know the controller. I'm not talking about that part. Just you don't play the game very well. You're not your basketball IQ ain't Bronny James, ain't Bron James. You just don't get it, and you get frustrated, and you got 7 holes in your wall from the other 4 controllers that you threw in the trash after you threw them through the drywall. I'm talking about that. Like, so if you feel like you don't play well on PS5, do you think you're gonna pick up an Xbox controller and all of a sudden like the game that much better? So when we are in these jobs, in these systems that we didn't create, can you see why most people change careers 5 to 7 times in their life, and 30% of the workforce right now, today, change jobs every single year? You didn't create the system. You didn't make the game. Is there any doubt that a job is a false accusation? The desire to have purpose-driven work, financial freedom is what lures you in. Come on in. Come on in. Then starting a new business, they say, is the cornerstone to the American dream, which is what corporate America is trying to sell you. We have the American dream. Come on in, work for 50 years. Believe there'll be something left for you at the end. Meanwhile, they getting theirs right now. The whole system is like that. You come in, you do the work today. They just made $20,000 off your sales, your phone calls today. They give you your check 2 weeks from now. And then that's just your regular paycheck. The bonus check is at the beginning of the month. And since you just made the sale, today's Virgos, it's officially the born day. I don't celebrate, but I just happen to look at the day. All right. So thanks for being here with me. Great time. Okay. So, you just made the sale today. Technically, don't count till tomorrow's numbers. So that'll be on October's check, bonus check. They got bonus as soon as you. Thank you. Appreciate your business. Click. Oh, they shit went up. Your shit delayed. The American dream, offering opportunities for independence and limitless possibilities. Right? So here's the question. Let's go to the question of the day real quick. Have you ever felt stressed or betrayed by unmet promises in your job? How did it affect you and your trust in your employer? And what steps did you take to address it? So, investing in yourself becomes the only solution. If you're gonna suffer, if you're gonna struggle, if you're gonna have the anxiety, if you're going to not have nothing left at the end of the week, would you rather be going through all that for somebody else who's making $30 billion a year? Or would you rather be going through it all for the opportunity for you to become the one who's making $30 billion a year? No, I'm not saying you need to have the focus of being a billionaire. I'm simply saying lots of people want jobs that matter and make them happy. But these terms is what's fucking us up. Because, like I tell you all, the word happy, the etymology of the word happy comes from happen. It basically means luck. It's like you're going to the casino. The house always wins at the casino if you sit there long enough. Could that be why most people change careers 5 to 7 times in their lives? 30% of the workforce right now is changing jobs every single year. Let me know what you think about it. Because when you start your own business at the fork in the road, you can choose what's important to you and do work that helps others. That financial freedom and independence, being your own boss, so to speak, you get to choose when to work and when to have fun. You know, if you realize that your goal is enormous, you can choose to work 24 hours a day, no sleep, grind it out. You can do that. You don't have someone talking to you about labor laws and, the building closes. You're not allowed to be here. It's not your shift. Do you want me to make goal? Yeah, but you only work from 9 to 5. You have to let the people come in from 6 to 12 to get their shot. Or do you want to go all day and get everything you can get? Because tomorrow's never promised. Being your own boss lets you choose what fun is. Maybe your work can be your fun. Plus, it can help you make more fiat currency. That's why most people start their business, want to be their own boss, and want to have better, financial returns for the work they do. Right? Is that the same for you? So I got into branding to help people go down that road, because making a cool you is really important these days. I don't mean making you a kiss ass. I don't mean making you fit into places you don't want to be. I mean making a cool you. It shows people that you're really good at what you do. It shows people who you really are. It helps you find fun and exciting things to do in your life. It makes you stand out from the crowd. Right? Having a strong you can help you do more things in life and work with more people. Isn't that what the self-expression that you wanted is? I know a lot of you use the word authentic. I'm not going to charge you because it's the wrong word. It's genuine that you really want. But isn't that why? Isn't that what you wanted? Self-expression and to be genuine. Entrepreneurship is more than just creating a business. It's a mindset. It's a mentality. It's a lifestyle. It is you. It is 100% you. That job is a false claim of you. That's not the real you. I know the real you. See, people didn't know what that song meant years ago when I wrote it. That song's a time capsule. Most of mine are. It's a time capsule. I don't expect the current society to know the lyrics of my song. They don't know what the words mean. I built those as a time capsule for the future to appreciate. Because if everybody could appreciate my music right now, that means that society wouldn't be the way that it is. Because they would be able to interpret something and comprehend things that would defy the current state of society. This is, I'm not religious, but this is Jesus' work. This is the Bible creation. Starting your own business is not just about making money. First of all, there ain't been no money in circulation since the 30s. Well, all we got is fiat currency. You know, I got to throw that in there every now and then so that we know what we're really dealing with. It's a way of living. It's your life. Too many people start a business they don't really want, but they think they want the profits. They think they're going to enjoy the money that it makes. And they live the whole experience the same way, suffering through it as if it was a job, because it's the exact same thing when you have a false claim to you. So pick something that you enjoy, pick something that represents you, and push for it. Get the breakthrough, break the wall down. Hold on, let me give you the vision. Find out who you are and then break through with you. When you ask somebody what they do, follow it up with what they do it for, who they do it for. Oh, I'm a mechanical engineer. Oh shit, who you do that for? 3M. Oh, how we get you to do it for you? How we get you to do it for your community, for your zip code, for your area code, for your city, your state, your neighborhood? How we get you to do it for America? It lets you be yourself and share what you know. Too many of us is comfortable going into these rooms, sitting down at the desk that ain't ours, sitting in a chair that ain't ours, working on a computer that ain't ours, pulling up the information that didn't come from us, studying the information that they gave us, and then regurgitating everything, saying this is what we know. So what we know isn't even us. At what point, I ask you all today, at what point in those 5 to 7 career changes in your life, at what day of the year does the person that's of the 30% that changes their job every single year say, I want to know me, and I need to know me so I can share me with you? See, that's the problem. You go to talk to people about yourself and it turns them off. They're like, ew, are you talking to me about you? Oh my God, don't you want to hear about me? Or tell me about what you do, who you work for, anything but sharing you with me. I mean, what is that? Don't you see that? You don't see that? Go to people, talk about the weather. Talk about politics. Talk about the game. Oh, those conversations, you can go on. Start talking about yourself. Okay, well, I've been, let me get exit stage left. It's not that you aren't interested. It's that people are programmed to not value you. This is part of your breakthrough. See? That's why they don't want to see you succeed, because once you succeed in business as an entrepreneur, what that means is that people are valuing you when you do it right. You got to break through these walls. That's what I help people with. When you do this, you can make real friends and help real people understand the real you better. That's a sustainable community. When you start a business, it's not like starting a job. Again, somebody else, that system most likely been in place for so long. You get the benefit of it already being built. Yeah, sure, true. Starting a business has a lot of ups and downs. You gotta figure out a lot of shit. It's a lot of puzzles, right? It's a lot of time. The best thing to do is to spend a lot of time alone. Unless you're with a team, need a team to build it. Be with your team alone. Being strong helps you through tough times. And stay calm. Making your personal brand helps you grow by teaching you. Most people would say to look outside of yourself and keep getting better. I want you to know, like the seeds in this field, the seed didn't grow from looking outside of itself. The seed grew by looking into itself. Because everything it was supposed to become was inside the seed. I'm not saying it didn't need water. I'm not saying, obviously, it don't need soil. Because we know, you be seeing them little videos on scroll on the reels where they put the little damn towel around the seed and it sprout its little roots, right? And then you can grow it all the way to a certain point, then they take it and transfer, or you get the vertical farming thing where it's just a little pan of water underneath of it with the whatever with the lights on it. So don't make yourself false claims to what you need to be successful. Like a job. You just gotta look inside yourself and create lasting value. People who start their own business can make special things. People who go to work can only do what they tell you to. You can make special things that really help others. This not only makes your business better, but it also makes the whole community feel good. Adrenaline, we both know what you want, right? They don't know what these words mean. They don't know them lyrics. Networking and collaboration, go find you events with the like-minded people, the like-minded ones, talking on or offline, making friends if you want friends. It can really help someone who starts a business. Working together, meeting people that are going to help you build and arrive at your destination, that's what we're talking about. That's why we're here right now in the portal, getting support to arrive at the destination. Sustainable business practices. Think of new ways. When you go to work, most of y'all only gonna do it the way they tell you to do it. Some of y'all never gonna do it the way they tell you to do it. And it's gonna be a love and hate scenario. I know. I was one of those people. They love they use the verb, it's love, it's all love, when the numbers be right or when it's convenient for them. But the moment they have the opportunity, they're gonna hate the fuck out of you. That's no different than the streets though. So when you start your own business, you get to think of new ways to run a business. Man, that's good for the planet, because this old shit apparently is fucking everything up. Like I told you, the whole corporate America workplace is creating a disease, disorder, toxic environments. You're translating them to your household to some degree. Now, because you got a job that you don't like, making funds that are half, a quarter, an eighth, a 16th of what you want to be making, your son and daughter having trouble in school because all of that negative energy from the job that you thought you left when you clocked out, you bring home, and it translates and mutates into them, and they go on and bullying kids at school. And then the kid that got bullied is absorbing all that toxicity, winds up going to his parents' gun safe, gets the gun, comes in, shoots your son, shoots your daughter, and 8 other people at the school. Why? Because you work for a place that you really don't like. And you bringing your kids up to do the same thing. See, that's why we need mentorship and guidance. That's why I do this. Yeah, I know it sounds foreign to a lot of people. They're like, oh, he's crazy. Yeah, it's going to sound crazy because we're talking about change. Having a mentor is really helpful. Getting advice from people who know a lot about it, whether it's the business or the life, can show you the right way to go. Help you solve problems to reach your goals. I know firsthand what the problems are and what happens when you try to help solve the problems in these problem places. So if the outcome for helping to resolve, to create solutions in places that need solutions but don't want them, erodes your worth, value, and maybe kills you over time, then you have to go, or you have to build. And that's why I'm not saying that the people who change their careers 5 to 7 times are crazy. I'm not saying that the people who 30% of the workforce change their jobs every year are crazy, because you either have to find something new. I'm just asking you to realize there's a comma or in that situation. You can find something new, or you can build. Because what you don't know is what you don't know. And what you don't know is that, yeah, it's going to glitter, it's going to shine, it's going to sparkle in the beginning. And like I tell everybody, 6 months later, you're going to find out that it's exactly the same things going on that you left this other job for. Now, do you appreciate it more here, or are you going to be the hypocrite? Or are you going to realize you left this job for that shit? What make you stay here? Oh, you make more fiat currency. They gave you 10% more. Oh, like we talked about. Welcome to mass shooting. Why? Oh, because you got 10% more and you changed jobs. And the toxic workplace was that much more because now there was more at stake. When people were getting 10% more, the weak minds would do anything to maintain their position or power or opportunity. So now it's even more toxicity, and you bring all of that home. Mother and father, tornado in the living room, arguments, divorce, depression, insomnia, cardiac in the Cadillac. Right? Is this what you want? Financial preparation is what they tell you need. Again, this is to trap you. No, you can't leave and go start your own business. You should have like 3 years saved up. That means based on what we pay you here, it'll take you 15 years to accumulate that before you can go start that business you want. By then, that business won't even matter. Think about it. It's 2024. 24 years ago, 25 years ago, we couldn't send pictures through the cell phone. Some of you are thinking you're going to work to retirement, work to this point 15, 20 years, and then pull out some money from your 401k and start the business. We talked about that in the other video. Go check that out. 20 years from now, that technology, that invention you got ain't even going to matter. You got to move now. If you gonna struggle for them, why you don't struggle for you? If you gonna have passion, which is suffering for them after your paycheck, pay your bills, and you got enough to get one good meal, so you can just say you got something out the deal, how long before you keep it real and suffer for you? Until you get your fill. See, before diving into entrepreneurship, they say it's crucial to build the financial cushion to cover 6 months worth of living expenses. Yeah. But what if it takes your business 2 years to grow? Understand the costs and revenues involved in starting a business may help mitigate some financial risk, but it's not a promise, it's not a guarantee. So if you don't have the mindset of this is what I have to do, then guess what? As soon as that bank statement say warning, you're gonna go right back. You're gonna go right back. If you ain't willing to lose your home, potentially your apartment, your car, your wife, if she ain't the right one, your life as you know it today, you gonna go right back. You gotta really want this change. You gotta really want to go from being United States citizen to being American. You gotta want that. It's too much normative social influence. It's gonna be too many people telling you, no, no, what do you get from being that? What are you getting from doing that? Oh man, you got 9 businesses and you still broke. It's gonna hurt until it doesn't. Let's get back to it. It's gonna hurt until it doesn't. So you need marketing and customer or client engagement. And honestly, I found the best way to do that is to keep it real. Keep it fucking real. Let them know what you going through to bring this to them. Don't be sitting up there talking about, no, everything's perfect all the time. Like, I got a saying that it's always the perfect day, but I say that when shit's fucking hurricaning. You know what I mean? I say it then too. Like, wow, this storm is fucking everything up, but it's always the perfect day. It just destroyed the south, side, but of my world that I was building here just got torn down by a hurricane, and then the north side tower fell because of the earthquake. Shit's fucked up right now, but it's tearing shit down that's not supposed to be there for where I'm supposed to be going. So I appreciate it, because I would have hung on to that. I'd have been sitting there patching it up and doing all this stuff when it needs to just go. Be real. Share who you really are. Remember that word y'all like, authentic, and then y'all hide everything. Just be genuine with that shit. Let them know what you're going through. Why? Because 5 years from now, when you pull up in the Maybach, when you pull up in the GT Continental Speed, you earned that motherfucker, yo. You didn't go to work and you didn't go get some certifications and get some certificates and go work doing IT for enterprise, making $200,000 a year. I'm not hating on you, but I'm just saying that's not your shit. Because as soon as they say, okay, thank you very much, we don't need you no more, we're gonna use this AI, you done. You built nothing for a society, you built it for the company. Leave your lasting impression on the world. What does that look like? Who are you? Remember? Take your skills and build something that represents you. Leave your impression on the world. Put your mark on the world. We watch this in history. See what they say? When people don't know their history, they're doomed to repeat it. We watched all of these great inventors create and get no credit, because when you read the history books, it says such and such invented this. You got to go through 27 books. You got to go into the CIA banned book list to find out that, oh, guess what? This was really in existence 40 years prior, and it was made by such and such. And then this technology was taken and added, and it's actually part of what goes into 60% of what, you know what I mean? Oh, wait, you mean they didn't really? No, they didn't really. Somebody else did. But they got the credit. You saw the NASA movie. Why is it that certain communities, certain zip codes don't have, and I'm not talking race. This is not about race. This is about I guess you could say, class system, right? Status, society status, social status. Why is it that these zip codes that have mixed races of people, I don't mean mixed like you this and that, I mean like in a 5 house, you got 5 different races living next door to each other. Why do these people not have the benefit of the work that they actually do? Think about it. If you go to work and you came up with this product as an engineer, why does the company get the patent and all the benefits are coming with it? You get a little plaque, maybe they give you a bonus, and that's what you get. They go on and create Apple from what you drew up on a napkin. You go home to your mortgage of $450,000 or $600,000 to your family of 4 or 5 or 6. And there's a great likelihood that you may change careers 5 to 7 times, or be one of the 30% that change jobs next year. Why don't the zip codes get to appreciate the wealth that they create? Because they didn't believe in themselves enough to do it for themselves. And when they came outside and stood on a porch and looked next door, they thought they saw something different. Instead of seeing themselves and saying, yo, we can do this for us. If what we did, you work at Tesla helping Elon Musk make $140 million a year, what if your neighborhood made 20 million for itself? Think about who lived next door to you, who lives on your block. This person does this, that person does that. This person goes in every day, clock in, and does this for this company. This person got this skill, does that skill. And y'all can't stand each other. And y'all going to work, fighting the people at work so that you can get an extra 2 hours of overtime because you talk shit about what they did. And then you saying so that you can get a F-150 with the upgraded wheel package so that you can say your car, your truck better than neighbors, instead of y'all coming together as a community and making $20 million together and splitting it up in your neighborhood. I don't think if we added all your paychecks up for what y'all do dividedly, it would equal in value to what you can do together. But you can't get past the ego. You can't get over the trauma. Effective marketing strategies should be data-driven and personally tailored, engaging directly with customers, providing insights into what resonates with the audience, helping to build trust and credibility. I'm marketing that you can be American. That's what my brand stands for. And I got the skills to help translate you. I got the intangibles to help translate you. I got the talent to help motivate you. I am living proof of what you want to be, but you're afraid of trying. And for the rest of the people here on YNet 7, that's not, you are me to them as well. That's the reality of this shit. That's what starting your own business is. Makes you Picasso. You get to do continuous learning and adaptation. That's what owning a business does. It gives you stuff to learn every day. You learn you. You don't learn their little this little training module for this quarter. Make sure you get it done by the 5th. Nah, take your time and learn you. Because entrepreneurship requires continuous learning, not just learning by the 5th. And adaptation, investing in your education, or let's say your experiences, makes you the coach because life coached you. Seeking feedback from the right peers, or maybe you have no peers because you're doing something totally new on a level that ain't been done before. So you get to write the authority, But either way, it's essential for developing the necessary skills for staying you. I'm not even gonna say competitive. I'm gonna say just staying you. And define your work-life balance. Like I said, if you know you're trying to go after these billions and you got 25,000 in the bank and you just quit your job and said, I'm gonna give it a shot. 9 to 5, when your peoples call you up talking about what you doing, they just got off work. Guess what? You ain't off work yet. Your work day might be 6 years long. Your first day on the job as an entrepreneur, you might have clocked in at 10 a.m. on August 30th, 2024. You might not clock out from day one till September 1st, 2026. So you might have to, hey bro, look, hey chick, look. Long hours, they common in entrepreneurship. You gotta find a suitable way, right? If you got low goals, cool. You might get there quick. If you got big goals, and you gotta learn stuff continuously, and you gotta try to do this and build that, it'll take you a little while. But finding a suitable way to balance hard work with necessity is part of self-care. And it's crucial for long-term success. But when they tell you need to sleep, it's like, yeah, I hear that, man. But how much did you sleep the last 20 years? How much did you sleep the last 10 years? How did that work out for you? You want an advantage? Work while they working and work while they sleeping. It's just like the gym. You gotta put in the most reps. You want to be the best? You want to be the best? If you want to be the best, put I want to be the best in the chat. Because if you want to be the best, you got to put in the reps. Right? That's how you become the best. So your work-life balance might be different than the people that got a 9 to 5. Because they're gonna go to work for that paycheck that's gonna be the same plus 2% for the next 5 years. So they're gonna have that limitation of what they can do in life based on what that check is plus 2%. You want to go make world change. Y'all not in the same lane no more. Hold on, matter of fact, I got that lane photo. Y'all not in the same lane no more. Once you decide you got a purpose and you gonna make your purpose, you gonna let the world know who you are. You're not in the same lane no more. You just graduated to, it's gonna be hard as fuck, but it's gonna be worth it. Because see, an employee relies on promises made during the interview. I'm gonna say it again. Employees rely on promises made during an interview. Like, think about it. I'm in the office right now. Let's say it's 10 a.m. Other companies are here that have employees. They employee minded. It could be 10 a.m. I could be asleep at my desk. I mean, technically, I don't own this particular desk, but this is all my shit, right? What I'm getting at is I can be asleep at my desk. They might walk by and be like, oh, look at him, he's asleep. And they would feel some type of way about it because they don't have the privilege without judgment. So it causes them to judge you in your freedom. Remember, when you decide to do this, you are taking the off ramp. Employees rely on promises made during an interview. I need to make that a Facebook post all by itself. Let me do that real quick. Because that's the amazing statement. If you really just listen to that statement, that's a fucking powerful ass statement. I'll be doing that sometimes. I do this. I'll be talking to you and I'll be like, you know what? I gotta write this down. That's a post. Pasha Paro 08/30/2024. Employees rely on promises made during interviews. For life. Right? This is why I don't want you to be an employee. Because jobs are false accusations. You've been lied to before in life? Have you? How'd it make you feel? What happens when your everything is on the line for that false accusation? Because unmet promises can feel like betrayal and deceit. They might have even had good intention, but the person that hired you at the workplace that's got 90,000 employees ain't the one that's controlling the treasury department of the corporation. They're not the CEO that's putting the corporation either in good position or at risk. So in some cases, you can't even blame the deceit, the betrayal, the false accusation on the person that actually hired you. But that's what happens. Too many hands in the pot. What? Spoil the soup. You the soup. A false accusation is an untrue claim that damages trust. So unfilled promises erode employee trust and expectations. You worked all year. They said they were going to take care of you. Then they come talking about, well, we looked at what they did. Those companies across the street and around here in the radius, they only gave their employees 2.5%. So we're going to do the same so that we're in alignment with what everybody. No, hold on. Wait. What they make only has a 5% profit margin. Or that's the factory for TJ Maxx, the warehouse. Or that. No. We're making science that NASA's wanting. What do you mean you're comparing us to TJ Maxx employees? What do you mean? And I'm not saying this in a sense of talking down about TJ Maxx, but what I'm saying is if you're at work and you're developing products that sell for each one unit sells for $40,000. You're developing science. You're cutting stuff on a machine down to 20 thousandths of an inch tolerance. I mean, it has to be precise. It's like think about it like this. Let's say you're making aircraft engines that put the pilot and the people's lives at risk every time it takes off. You need to be that good at what you do, and they want to compare you to the Burger King worker. I'm not saying that the artesian buns and the flame broiled whopper don't take some craftsmanship to get it to look like it does on the advertisement, which it. But what I'm saying is, are you really comparing them to the person who develops, builds, installs, maintains what keeps you safe at 40,000 feet in the air? I just don't. No, we looked at it and we're everybody in this area is getting 2.7%. We're gonna give you 2.8. We thought that was well justified. A nice gesture. It's erosion of trust. As soon as y'all left that meeting, y'all talking shit about it the whole time. I was in a bunch of them. I'm the only one in the meeting. See, that's what I'm talking about. I know this shit firsthand. I'll be the only one in the meetings talking about, excuse me, hey, yeah, you know who it is. It's Pasha. It's me, juridical version. But what about this, that, how can you do it? And everybody's like, oh God, here we go. Right? That's what they do. But as soon as they get out the meeting, it's like, man, this ain't even right, man. How they gonna do it? Motherfucker, why didn't you say some shit in there with me in the meeting? You had me in there looking like a fool. Like I was the only one that felt some type of way. So it's easy to take out the one person. Although my arguments always be strong as hell. So it wasn't easy to take me out. But what they try to do is just make it look like they running out of time, or you just the one causing a problem. But then everybody go talk about the shit afterwards. Where the fuck was y'all at? See, y'all can't stand up for yourselves. Nobody taught you that. And as soon as someone does, you want to tear them down, make a mockery, join together, ban against them, all this dumb shit. When you want the same fucking thing, you just scared to fucking say it. You feel the same way. You felt the erosion of trust. You felt betrayed, but then you gonna go tell them, no, this is a great company. You shouldn't be talking about that like this and this, because you are weak. Not you. Why that 7 people? But this is what we say and see and feel to those people who judging us in those moments, because we're the ones standing up for ourselves and others. And guess what? It only gets you in trouble. I mean, I'm not saying we in trouble, because I know we our own entities. We don't get into trouble. What I mean is, when that termination form comes, you strong. You going out with your head up because you fought for you and everybody else there. But now you gotta go deal with this bullshit because they were too weak to say that they felt the same way. I've been there. I know you've been there. That's why we here together, because we going somewhere. They gonna be right there. They ain't going nowhere. It's disillusionment and disengagement, unmet promises. Now, at the same time, we're talking about the workplace, the employee-employer relationship, but think about the home. That's why little Tommy went to school and shot up 50 people, because disillusionment and disengagement, unmet promises, resulted in decreased morale. Employees may feel isolated and demotivated. There go that depression, insomnia, post-traumatic stress disorder. Remember we was talking about how it trickles down into your family? Y'all on here all day, not y'all. They on here all day talking about be the change you want to see, and then they go right in tomorrow and go boop. Clock right in. I want you to be the change. No more disillusionment. No more disengagement. Right? The psychological effects, you're going to be feeling stress and anxiety either way. From being misled, mad at the job, or the stress and anxiety of being out here on your grind until it gets smooth. You're going to have emotional turmoil either way. Why not be for you? Because you can't trust what they telling you in the interview. Set yourself up for disappointment. You got to have communication. You got to set realistic expectations. And if you can't trust their promises must be achievable to build trust. And if they can't give you what they promised, then why do you trust them? If you're not allowed to have regular check-ins to address discrepancy between promises and reality, why are you going back? Whether it's to work or home. If there's not an environment that creates open communication to identify unmet promises to rectify them, what are you doing? So I ask you, is a job, any job, a false accusation? And who are you? I'm Pasha Pablo.